He had a V in his name, and the V stands for Videodrog. No one had a name like that, and when I was a child I said, "Dad, where did you get that middle name?" And he said that his mother gave him that name, and they were from Croatia. My grandparents came from Croatia, and Videodrog was a famous battle that was fought. And the Croatians were very strong and persevered. And in that strength and perseverance, she wanted my dad to have those qualities. So she gave him the name Videodrog. During World War II, my father was a pilot on a B24, and he flew many missions over China and Burma. And he demonstrated great courage, and he was awarded the Flying Cross for his bravery. He also received a presidential citation, the Good Conduct Ribbon, 2 air medals, 2 battle stars. Not that many people received the Flying Cross. It was for people who had done a certain amount of missions. It was a very distinguished award. He had done over, 52 missions? The missions actually were over China. From India, they flew over the Himalayas to bring gasoline to the troops in China. So they had to fly over. And those planes weren't like what we have now.
I made about 25 trips across the Himalayas, hauling gas to Chengdu, where there's a B-29 base. It was spooky.
Spooky,
because there were so many high mountains all around.
Yeah,
It was snow-covered. You know, peaks all over the place, very high.
And you kept going up and up.
Yeah. One mission, some flak had knocked out an engine. It actually cut the fuel line. And that was a long mission, so we had extra gasoline tanks in the bomb bay. And a piece of flak hit one of the tanks in the bomb bay, and gasoline starts streaming out of the tank into the back of the plane. We ended up dropping the bomb bay tank and flew to an airport at Akab with 3 engines.
Wow.
We were lucky we didn't blow up
Wow.
because there's gasoline all over.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then in Burma, there were bridges. But to stop the advance of the troops there, they bombed the bridges.
We also bombed Bangkok and Thailand. And there we bombed the railroad yards and various things like that. We flew to the target.
Right.
When you got there, you did a little weaving back and forth because you're being shot at. Drop your bombs and away you go, hopefully. Taking a test to see you're going to be a bombardier, a navigator, a pilot, or what. And there were a bunch of math questions. And I didn't turn the page over to see what was on the other side, so I didn't do the math problems. So I was lucky I made it. So I ended up in pilot school. That was in primary training, where the plane was open and got cold up there. I went to India, but on the way we stopped a lot of places, like the Azores Islands and Marrakech in Africa, and Tunis and Cairo and Abadan and Karachi, and before we got to our base in eastern India. And I lived in a tent, pretty fancy.
Yeah.
That's a bomber, B-24 bomber. Well, I had gunners and bombardier and navigator. That was in India. Shows you how big the B-24 was.
Yeah. So there was only 10 people that manned that.
Yeah.
This
That's an emblem for your jacket. Different flying groups had different emblems. Got that in India.
And what does it say? What does it mean?
Just somebody wore it in a jacket.
And then what is the writing?
It said you're a good guy.
Is this Chinese?
Chinese. It was something you carried, and it was written in about 15 different languages.
And what did it say?
It said, take care of this guy and you'll get rewarded.
Oh, that's interesting.
My dad's strength and determination and courage were that he demonstrated during World War II. He also demonstrated in the last months of his life.
And also graduated from UC Berkeley. how he served in World War II in the Air Force, doing 52 bombing missions in 2 years, and was always able to return his plane. His courage seemed to never wane. I was sometimes there every day observing as well as encouraging this amazing soldier.
One memorable event was I was pushing for a stent because I knew he had his mind and I knew he had the will and the drive. And he had had a minor heart attack and he had quintuple bypass 14 years prior. And I felt like the stent would open up passages and you'd have the energy and the blood flow to be able to recover. We went around the table, talked to all the docs, and the young cardiologist, well, you know, he's 92. I said, 92? He's not 92. He's 72. I mean, he's playing tennis until just a few months ago. Anyway, they had to get 5 doctors to come to a consensus.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you know, what about your dad? How does he feel about this? You know, Dad's sacked out in the bed, right? No, he's listening. He's listening. And so we walk in the room, his eyes open up. He said, no risk, no gain. He selected his words carefully. And he said it with a real strong voice. He said, let's do it. And I thought that was amazing. And the doc went, whoa, okay. And unfortunately, he had some other complications that would have made that procedure risky. And when you look at the pictures we'll show, look who's smiling the biggest. He's kind of understated, but none of that picture, big smile. A lot of the pictures that you'll see were in the last month or so. And others were from when he was a child. The last song is kind of memory lane, so kind of start with age 1 and go all the way up to 92. The song that's played is called 100 Years. And I like to think that my dad got 100 years because he walked so fast. He squeezed in 8 years easy. Remember about the lessons, you know, what did you learn by that loss? And I learned that he created a wonderful family, and Chris will always miss him. But I learned what love is. That's my dad. So give from the heart and live like no tomorrow.